you. Bon dia, Barcelona. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here so early in the morning. I'm actually very proud of you for waking up and coming, to this very exciting session about quantum computing and its applications for industry. Okay, so today here I'm going to be explaining you about. Oh, that's a different. Yeah, well, I asked about that before. Okay, excellent. So let's hope that this works. It works. Okay. So today here I'm gonna be explaining you about how we should be doing in order to translate all these very nice ideas of quantum computing to industry. Because this is not an easy task, as you have seen in the previous talk by Marcus. Quantum computing is a highly technical field. It's very specialized. It's very complicated. There are concepts that are very difficult to understand, even for for physics professors, even like things like quantum entanglement, superposition. All these things are very weird, and it looks like a miracle, that we can use all this to actually use it to our advantage, to do computation. Now here comes the next step. On top of doing computation, we actually need to make it very easy. Okay, quantum is for everyone. Quantum is not just for quantum physicists or for quantum engineers. At the end of the day, we are at this very historical moment in which we are transitioning from academia to industry, okay? And then we are making this technology accessible to everyone. And when I say everyone, I mean really everyone. So, my point of view is that quantum computing should be trivial. Even your grandmother should be able to run a quantum computer, okay? Now, why is this important? Okay, why is this important? Well, this is very important because at the end of the day, quantum computing is a technology that has to hit the market. Okay, and the market, the people are not quantum engineers. Okay, the people are just, my grandmother. Okay, so she doesn't know about quantum computing at all. She thinks I'm kind of crazy and so on, but she has to be able to use this technology. Okay, let me give you an example of why I'm talking about this today and why I think that this is very, very important, especially for for all these quantum companies that are just emerging right now for this whole ecosystem. So there is a very simple example, which is your car, okay? You came here probably in a taxi or in an Uber or a Cabify or whatever, no? And the car just worked, okay? You just jump inside of the car. Maybe you were driving yourself and it feels good. Maybe if there is a traffic jam, it doesn't feel so good. But it's kind of, you just want to use the car and that's it, okay? Now for using the car, which is the product, you don't need to be, you don't need to know about, everything that is happening inside of the car. You don't need to know about all the tiny details of how the engine works. You don't need to be a mechanic, okay? You just want to jump in the car and drive. That's it, no? Or imagine that you have a radio, okay? You just want to switch on the radio and listen to music, no? And for that, you don't need to be an electronic engineer that knows how all these circuit boards are working and so on and so forth. So this is the key, okay? We need to make the technology accessible to everyone. And if we don't succeed at this, then it's going to be a failure, okay? This is something that it may look like a trivial observation, but it's actually very important because, quantum computing is a field that is highly technical. And, it's full of people coming from academia who are having a very hard time to actually go down to earth and talk to people that don't know about quantum mechanics. And this is very difficult to make, okay? Now, let me explain you an example of how we are doing this at Multiverse, okay? So in Multiverse computing, we have, this tool that is called Singularity, and we are building it in such a way that is making quantum computing accessible to absolutely everyone. And there is a very clear use case that we built recently, which is, for finance. We were working together with banks, such as people such as CaixaBank, such as Bankia, in the old times, such as BBVA, Crédit Agricole, and so on. And we were talking to the traders, the brokers, and they had this problem that they had to optimize the composition of their portfolios, okay, in order to maximize the returns in a given period of time. This is a bit of a technical finance problem, but imagine your pension funds, okay? The day you retire, you want to have the maximum amount of returns, okay? That's one of those intractable problems that you can solve on a quantum computer. Now, what happens with the guy that is working at the bank? The trader is not a quantum engineer at all. He's just a trader, okay, which is already quite technical, but he doesn't know about quantum computing. So he's using all the time Microsoft Excel, okay, for instance, with these huge spreadsheets. They are just downloading all the data from Bloomberg, running some very complicated algorithms in Excel sometimes, okay, and that's it. And they need something that works. So that's how we did it. We built a plugin, okay, essentially a tool that you can download it, you install it, then you have an Excel plugin, and it works. You download the data, okay, then you just do click, and then it builds the algorithm, it builds, the whole solution, it runs the algorithm on a quantum computer that is on the cloud, gets the results back, puts them in a user-friendly way, and then the trader, the broker, is able to actually use the calculation. All right? This is the vision. We need to make products, even with quantum computers, that are for the end users, who are not the quantum engineers. The market is not a quantum engineer. The market is everybody, and we need to build the tools in this way. We need to make quantum easy and accessible. Now, this is very nice, and now you will say, well, but how do you do this in practice? Well, actually, you can do this, okay? I just show you the example with the Excel and the problem of optimization in banks, okay? But actually, at Multiverse, we have been very successful in doing this in lots of verticals. We've been working with people in finance. We've been working also with people in energy, in health, in space, in logistics, in manufacturing. We have lots of clients in different verticals, okay? And in order to be successful to do this, the very first thing that you have to do is to find something that we call business advantage. This is something very different to what the people in academia call quantum advantage. This is not about that. This is about finding applications for which quantum computing can deliver value to your business. And this is an academic talking about business, okay? So once you identify those applications, and this is very hard, okay, actually to do, but once you identify that, you can actually extract value of quantum computers as they are today, okay? We've been doing that at Multiverse, okay? We did it for the problem that you saw on optimizing portfolios of assets, okay? We're actually, beating the best classical standard tool for doing that by orders of magnitude in runtime and also in precision, with quantum computers that are accessible today using also some hybrid techniques like the ones that Marcus was mentioning before, okay? And we have been systematically very successful in doing that. Now, I want to conclude my presentation here by essentially giving the message that you have to take home, okay? So what I've been talking about here today, I've been talking about quantum computing, I've been talking about democratizing quantum computing, making it accessible to everyone, all right? And then I've also been talking about making quantum computing useful for real value use cases for very specific applications. So, here is the recipe if you want to make quantum computing successful nowadays, okay? The first thing you have to do is to find the applications for which quantum computing is actually useful. Find the business value, okay, of quantum computers as they are today. We don't want to wait 20 or 30 years. We want to use quantum computers already, okay? That's thing number one you have to do. Thing number two, you have to make your solutions easy, trivial, and accessible so that everybody is going to be able to use them. Thanks a lot for your attention.